Welcome to today's Lost Souls, where we bring you the most impactful and unforgettable stories from around the world. Today, we remember the lives of remarkable individuals whose legacies continue to inspire and resonate. From iconic musicians to trailblazing activists, join us as we celebrate their extraordinary contributions and bid farewell to those who have left an indelible mark on our lives. Stay tuned for a journey through their incredible stories.
Tim Curry, Timothy James Curry, born April 19, 1946, is a distinguished British actor and singer whose career spans over 5 decades, marked by iconic roles, stage achievements, and a lasting impact on popular culture. He first rose to worldwide prominence with his portrayal of Dr. Frank-N-Furter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, 1975, a role he originated on stage in the 1973 London production and reprised in the Los Angeles and Broadway productions before. Starring in the cult classic film adaptation, the character of Dr. Frank-N-Furter, a flamboyant, transvestite mad scientist from the planet Transsexual in the galaxy of Transylvania, became a cultural phenomenon, embedding Curry into pop culture, history, and garnering a devoted cult following. Curry's performance combined camp, charisma, and musical theater talent, delivering unforgettable songs and personality that helped make Rocky Horror a rite of passage for generations of fans exploring themes of identity and self-expression. Beyond Rocky Horror, Curry built a diverse and acclaimed career in both stage and screen. He earned 3 Tony Award nominations and 2 Laurence Olivier Award nominations for his theater work, with notable roles including Tristan Tzara in Travesties, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart in Amadeus, the Pirate King in The Pirates of Penzance, and King Arthur in Spamalot. On screen, Curry demonstrated remarkable versatility, playing memorable characters such as the villainous Rooster Hannigan in Annie, 1982, Darkness in Legend, 1985, Wadsworth the Butler in the cult comedy Clue, 1985, the terrifying Pennywise in the It miniseries, 1990, the concierge in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, 1992, and Long John Silver in Muppet Treasure Island, 1996. His distinctive voice and presence also led to extensive voice acting roles in animation and video games, further showcasing his range. Tim Curry suffered a major stroke in 2012, which impacted his mobility and speech, but he has since participated in tribute events and selective projects, maintaining a respected and beloved status in entertainment. His influence spans theater, film, television, and music, leaving a legacy of bold, unforgettable characters and a unique contribution to genre and cult media. In his own words, Curry views the Rocky Horror Picture Show as a celebration of freedom and self-expression, a weekend party where people can explore different facets of their identity, making it far more than just a film but a cultural milestone. His work remains celebrated for its theatrical flair, dark humor, and boundary-pushing performances that have inspired artists and fans worldwide. Neil Diamond. Neil Diamond, the iconic American singer-songwriter, continues to be celebrated as a living legend in the world of music, aged 84 as of mid-2025. He is renowned for a career spanning more than 5 decades, marked by timeless hits such as Sweet Caroline, Cracklin' Rosie, America, and Songs Sung Blue. His warm baritone voice and deeply emotional songwriting have made him a beloved figure and a staple in American pop culture. Born on January 24, 1941, in Brooklyn, New York, Neil Diamond's musical journey began in his teenage years, writing songs for artists and eventually launching his own performing career. His breakout came in the 1960s with a string of hit singles on the pop and adult contemporary charts. Diamond's ability to blend catchy melodies with heartfelt lyrics helped define the singer-songwriter genre, earning him a dedicated fan base worldwide. Over his career, he has sold over 130 million records, making him one of the best-selling musicians of all time. In 2018, Neil Diamond announced his retirement from touring after being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, a progressive neurological disorder that affects movement and motor control. This diagnosis was a significant moment in his career and personal life, as it forced him to cancel the remaining dates of his 50th anniversary solo tour. Despite this setback, Diamond's spirit and passion for music remained undiminished. Remarkably, in July 2025, Diamond made a highly memorable surprise appearance during a performance of A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical at the Pantages Theater in Los Angeles. This Broadway show, which tells the story of his life and career, culminated with Diamond himself joining the audience and performing a heartfelt rendition of Sweet Caroline. This unexpected moment reaffirmed his enduring connection to both his music and his fans, showcasing his resilience and the timeless appeal of his songs. Throughout his battle with Parkinson's, Diamond has been open about the challenges of the disease as well as his positive acceptance and adaptation to new circumstances. He has taken time to focus on his family life with his wife, Katie McNeil, whom he married in 2012, and to inspire others facing similar health struggles. Neil Diamond's legacy is not just in his vast catalog of hits, but also in the emotional resonance his music carries. Celebrated for his introspective lyrics and ability to connect on a personal level with audiences, Diamond remains a treasured icon whose career has profoundly influenced countless artists and fans. Sam Neill, the revered New Zealand actor known worldwide for his versatile and compelling performances, is very much alive as of mid-2025. Born on September 14, 1947, in Omagh, Northern Ireland, Neill moved to New Zealand in 1954, where he later launched a prolific acting career spanning film, television, and theater. He gained international fame for iconic roles such as Dr. Alan Grant in Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park, 1993, and its sequels, Jurassic Park 3, 2001, and Jurassic World Dominion, 2022, as well as strong performances in The Piano, 1993, Dead Calm, 1989, and In the Mouth of Madness, 1994. Neill's career is distinguished by his ability to move effortlessly across genres, from intense dramas to thrillers and adventure films. He has received numerous awards and nominations, including the ACTA Award for Best Actor, the Longford Lyell Award, and multiple Golden Globe and Emmy nominations. In 2023, he won the Silver Logie for Most Popular Actor, underscoring his enduring popularity and respect within the industry. In recent times, Neill has been open about his health challenges, revealing in 2023 that he was undergoing chemotherapy treatment for stage 3 T-cell lymphoma, a form of blood cancer. Despite this tough diagnosis, there are no reports of his passing, and he remains active, continuing to engage in acting projects and public appearances, demonstrating resilience and dedication to his craft. Neill's contributions to television are also significant, with notable roles in series such as Merlin, 1998, where he played the titular wizard, Peaky Blinders, 2013 to 2014, as Major Chester Campbell, and several guest appearances in popular shows like The Tudors, Alcatraz, and Rick and Morty. His rich, commanding presence, coupled with his theatrical background and intellectual approach to acting, have made him a respected figure across the entertainment world. Beyond acting, Neill is recognized as an advocate for New Zealand cinema and culture, actively participating in local film production through his company Two Paddocks. He balances his time between New Zealand and other international commitments, maintaining a high profile as both an artist and a cultural ambassador. Selma Blair, the American actress known for her memorable roles in films such as Cruel Intentions and Legally Blonde, is alive and actively working as of mid-2025 despite her battle with multiple sclerosis, MS. Diagnosed in 2018, Blair's condition affects the brain and spinal cord, and she endured a challenging course including a risky 2-month hematopoietic stem cell transplantation, HSCT, to reset her immune system. However, Blair has openly shared her journey, highlighting her resilience and newfound health improvements that allow her to work and engage publicly again. Blair has recounted how symptoms traced back to childhood were dismissed by doctors 4 decades before her diagnosis. She described early signs such as loss of bladder control, spasms, and shifts in emotional state, which she initially thought were psychological or behavioral issues. The formal MS diagnosis brought relief by explaining the physical basis of her struggles. In 2024 and 2025, Blair has reported being truly relapse-free and in remission from MS symptoms. She credits her better health to advanced treatments and medication changes, enabling her to regain stamina and energy that had long eluded her. Blair shared that she feels much happier now and is excited about her future, including several film projects she looks forward to pursuing. Blair also emphasizes the emotional and social aspects of living with MS, acknowledging setbacks, but encouraging self-kindness and openness about the condition. Her public discussions have made her a role model for MS awareness and advocacy, inspiring others facing similar chronic illnesses to be honest and hopeful. Her acting career, which rose to prominence in the late 1990s and early 2000s, is marked by a blend of drama and comedy, with notable films including Legally Blonde, Cruel Intentions, and The Sweetest Thing. Her perseverance through health challenges highlights her strength as an artist and advocate. Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is alive as of August 2025 and remains an active, beloved figure in the entertainment world. Born on July 9, 1956, Hanks is an iconic American actor and filmmaker known for his versatility across comedic and dramatic roles. He achieved worldwide fame with films like Splash, 1984, Big, 1988, and A League of Their Own, 1992. His performances in Philadelphia, 1993, and Forrest Gump, 1994, won him back-to-back Academy Awards for Best Actor, cementing his reputation as one of the most talented actors of his generation. Throughout his career, Hanks has collaborated extensively with renowned directors, particularly Steven Spielberg, with work on Saving Private Ryan, 1998, Catch Me If You Can, 2002, Bridge of Spies, 2015, and more. He has also contributed to acclaimed miniseries such as Band of Brothers, 2001, and Masters of the Air, 2024, showcasing his range as both an actor and producer. Hanks's recent work remains prolific, including performances in Elvis, 2022, where he portrayed Colonel Tom Parker, the live-action Pinocchio, 2022, as Geppetto, and the film A Man Called Otto, 2022. He also appeared in the 2021 sci-fi drama Finch and starred in Greyhound, 2020, which he wrote the screenplay for, showing his multifaceted talents. Despite occasional false death rumors spread via social media, reputable fact-checking sites have confirmed that Hanks is alive and well, actively participating in public life. In January 2025, he narrowly escaped damage when wildfires threatened his home in Pacific Palisades, Los Angeles. His presence continues to be felt strongly both on and off screen. Hanks has been honored with numerous awards beyond his Oscars, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom, 2016, Kennedy Center Honors, 2014, and the Golden Globe Cecil B. DeMille Award, 2020, reflecting his enduring impact on American arts and culture. In summary, Tom Hanks remains a celebrated actor and cultural icon, known for his relatable everyman persona, profound dramatic roles, and contributions to film and television over nearly 5 decades. His ongoing work and public appearances affirm his lasting influence and vitality in Hollywood. Kathy Bates. Kathy Bates, the celebrated American actress, is alive and thriving as of 2025. At age 77, she has recently made history as the oldest nominee for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series at the 2025 Emmy Awards for her role in the CBS reboot of Matlock. In this series, she plays Madeline "Maddie" Matlock, a clever and determined attorney who returns to the legal field following personal tragedies, including the loss of family members and financial hardship. This role demonstrates her powerful ability to embody strong, complex women, a hallmark of her career. Born June 28, 1948, in Memphis, Tennessee, Bates studied theater at Southern Methodist University before moving to New York City to pursue acting. She built an extensive career on stage and screen, receiving early acclaim for theater performances, including a Tony Award nomination for Night, Mother, 1983, and winning an Obie Award for Frankie and Johnny in the Clair de Lune, 1988. She quickly became known for portraying strong women who often defied societal expectations, a theme that defined her most iconic roles. Kathy Bates won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her chilling performance as Annie Wilkes in Misery, 1990, a role that made her a household name. Beyond Misery, Her notable films include Fried Green Tomatoes, 1991, Titanic, 1997, Primary Colors, 1998, About Schmidt, 2002, and Richard Jewell, 2019, for which she earned her fourth Oscar nomination. On television, she has garnered 2 Emmy Awards, one for a guest role on 2.5 Men, and another for portraying Delphine LaLaurie in American Horror Story, Coven. She has also appeared in 6 Feet Under, Harry's Law, and multiple seasons of American Horror Story. In recent years, Bates continued to win acclaim for her work in Matlock, with the show renewed for a second season due to her compelling portrayal. In early 2025, she also won the Critics' Choice Award for Best Actress in a Drama Series for this role. Beyond acting, Kathy Bates has been an advocate for health issues, notably speaking out after her own experience with a double mastectomy and lymphedema. Raising awareness for lymphatic disease research. Bates's longevity in the entertainment industry, her iconic portrayals of independent and often fearless women, and her recent record-breaking Emmy nomination at 77 highlight her enduring talent and influence. She remains a revered figure whose work spans over 5 decades with more than 200 acting and directing credits. Celine Dion. Celine Dion Claudette Dion was born on March 30th, 1968 in Charlemagne, Quebec, Canada, a small town located about 50 kilometers northeast of Montreal. She was the youngest of 14 children born to Audemars Dion and Thérèse Tang Dion in what can only be described as a household bursting with music, love, and the constant energy of a large family. The Dion family home was a modest dwelling that somehow managed to accommodate this extraordinary brood, where music wasn't just a passion, but a way of life that permeated every corner of their existence. From her earliest memories, Senna was surrounded by the sounds of music. Her parents, both music lovers, had filled their home with instruments, and it wasn't uncommon to find family members gathered around the piano, singing together in harmonious choruses that would echo through the house. Admar, her father, played the accordion and violin, while her mother, TZ, was known for her beautiful voice and her ability to organize the musical chaos of their large family into something magical. The Dion children were encouraged to express themselves through music, and many of them would go on to pursue musical careers of their own, though none would achieve the international stardom that awaited their youngest sister. Growing up in a francophone household, Celine's first language was French, and she would later become one of the few artists to achieve massive success in both French and English markets. Her childhood was marked by the typical experiences of a large family living on modest means, but it was also enriched by the constant presence of music and the unwavering support of parents who recognized that their youngest daughter possessed something truly special. Even as a very young child, Celine displayed a remarkable vocal ability that set her apart not only from her siblings, but from children her age in general. The family often performed together at local venues, and it was during these early performances that Celine began to develop her stage presence and her deep connection with audiences. Her mother, TZ, was particularly instrumental in nurturing Celine's talent, often serving as both mentor and manager in those early years. The financial struggles of supporting such a large family meant that everyone had to contribute, and music became not just a passion, but also a potential source of income for the Dons. Celine's formal education took place in French-language schools. In Quebec, where she was known as a quiet, somewhat shy student who seemed to come alive only when music was involved. Her teachers quickly recognized her exceptional vocal abilities, and she was often asked to perform at school events and local competitions. Despite her natural shyness, Senna possessed an innate understanding of how to connect with an audience, a skill that would prove invaluable in her later career. The turning point in young Celine's life came when she was just 12 years old. Her mother and brother Jacques had written a song called Cynic Carve. It was only a dream, and they decided that Celine should record a demo of the song. The family pulled their limited resources to pay for studio time, and the resulting recording would change the course of Celine's life forever. The demo was sent to René Angel, a music manager and former singer who had achieved some success in the Quebec music scene. When René first heard Celine's voice on that demo tape, he was reportedly moved to tears. He immediately recognized that he was listening to something extraordinary. a voice that possessed both technical brilliance and emotional depth that was remarkable in someone so young. The meeting between Renee and the Dion family would prove to be one of the most significant moments in music history, as it marked the beginning of both a professional relationship and a personal bond that would shape the rest of Seelan's life. Renee Angel's faith in Seelan's talent was so absolute that he mortgaged his own house to finance her first album. This extraordinary act of belief in a 12-year-old girl's potential would prove to be one of the most preeminent investments in music history. Under Renee's careful guidance, Sale began what would become one of the most remarkable career trajectories in popular music, starting with her dominance of the French language market before eventually conquering the world. Her debut album, La Voix de Bon Dieu, The Voice of the Good Lord, was released in 1981 when Celine was just 13 years old. The album was an immediate success in Quebec, establishing her as a rising star in the francophone music scene. What made this early success so remarkable was not just Seelan's vocal ability, which was already extraordinary, but her mature interpretation of songs that dealt with complex emotional themes. Critics and audiences alike were amazed by the depth of feeling that this young teenager could bring to her performances. Throughout the early 1980s, Sale continued to build her reputation in the French-speaking world with a series of successful albums and television appearances. She became a regular performer on popular Quebec television variety shows where audiences watched her grow from a talented child into a sophisticated young performer. Her appearances on shows like Leo Dish and various Quebec television specials helped establish her as a household name throughout French Canada. The breakthrough moment that would launch Celine onto the international stage came in 1982 when she represented Canada at the Yamaha World Popular Song Festival in Tokyo, Japan. At just 14 years old, she delivered a performance that earned her both the Musician's Award for Best Performer and the Gold Medal for Best Song. This international recognition opened doors that would lead to opportunities throughout Europe and eventually to her conquest of the English-speaking market. In 1987, Celine made the bold decision to learn English and cross over into the Anglophone market. This transition required her to essentially reinvent herself as an artist while maintaining the emotional authenticity that had made her such a success in French. Renee Angel orchestrated this transition with remarkable skill, ensuring that Seelan's English language debut would be worthy of her established reputation. Her English language breakthrough came with the 1990 album Unison, which featured the hit single Where Does My Heart Beat Now? The song became a top 10 hit in both Canada and the United States, introducing Celine to audiences who had never heard her French material. The success of Unison established her as a legitimate international artist and set the stage for what would become a series of increasingly successful albums throughout the 1990s. The real explosion of Sale's international career came with her 1992 album, The Color of My Love, which featured several massive hits, including The Power of Love and Think Twice. These songs showcased not only her incredible vocal range and technical ability, but also her gift for emotional interpretation that could transcend language barriers. The album's success established her as one of the premier vocalists of her generation and opened doors to opportunities that would define her career. Perhaps no single song did more to establish Celine as a global superstar than My Heart Will Go On, the theme song from James Cameron's epic film Titanic. Initially reluctant to record what she feared might be seen as just another movie theme song, Celine was eventually convinced by Renee to take on the project. The resulting song became not only one of the best-selling singles of all time, but also a cultural phenomenon that elevated Celine to a level of international recognition that few artists ever achieve. The success of My Heart Will Go On was unprecedented, topping charts in virtually every country where it was released and earning Celine numerous awards, including the Academy Award for Best Original Song and the Golden Globe for Best Original Song. The song's success was so massive that it essentially made Sale a global household name overnight, transforming her from a successful recording artist into an international icon. Building on this enormous success, Celine embarked on a series of world tours that showcased her incredible live performance abilities to audiences around the globe. Her concerts became renowned for their emotional intensity and technical excellence, with Celine delivering performances that left audiences stunned by the power and beauty of her voice. These tours established her reputation as one of the finest live performers of her generation and helped cement her status as an international superstar. In 2003, Celine made the groundbreaking decision to embark on a residency show in Las Vegas, performing at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace in a show called A New Day. This residency was revolutionary in the entertainment industry as it marked the first time a major international artist had committed to an extended run in Las Vegas rather than touring. The show was a massive success, running for nearly 5 years and attracting audiences from around the world who came to Las Vegas specifically to see Celine perform. Throughout her illustrious career, Celine Dion has faced numerous health challenges that have tested not only her physical resilience, but also her mental fortitude and determination to continue performing at the highest level. These health struggles have been both personal battles and public concerns, as millions of fans around the world have watched one of music's greatest voices confront medical issues that threaten to silence her forever. The first significant health challenge that Celine faced publicly came in the early 2000s when she began experiencing problems with her voice. As a performer whose entire career depended on the extraordinary instrument that was her vocal cords. Any threat to her voice was not just a personal health concern, but a potential career-ending crisis. She began working with vocal coaches and medical specialists to address what were initially described as minor vocal issues. But these problems would prove to be more persistent and serious than initially anticipated. In 2014, Senna was forced to cancel several performances and eventually postpone her entire Las Vegas residency due to what was initially described as inflammation in her throat muscles. The condition, which affected her ability to control her vocal cords properly, was devastating for an artist whose career had been built on her incredible vocal precision and power. The medical team treating her condition implemented a strict regimen of vocal rest, therapy, and treatment that required her to refrain from speaking for extended periods, let alone singing. The throat condition proved to be more complex than initially diagnosed, and Celine underwent several medical procedures to address the inflammation and muscle spasms that were affecting her voice. The treatments included injections and other interventions designed to reduce the inflammation and restore proper function to her vocal cords. Throughout this period, Senna demonstrated remarkable patience and discipline, following her medical team's instructions precisely. Even when it meant disappointing fans and canceling lucrative performances, the vocal issues were compounded by other health challenges that began to emerge around the same time. Celine began experiencing severe muscle spasms that affected not only her throat, but other parts of her body as well. These spasms were initially treated as separate issues, but medical professionals eventually began to suspect that they might be symptoms of a larger, more systematic condition affecting her neuromuscular system. For several years, Celine and her medical team worked to identify the underlying cause of her various symptoms. The process was frustrating and often discouraging, as test after test failed to provide definitive answers. During this period, Celine's condition continued to worsen, with the muscle spasms becoming more frequent and more severe, affecting her ability to perform and eventually impacting her daily life activities. In December 2022, Celine made the difficult decision to share with the world that she had been diagnosed with stiff person syndrome, a rare neurological disorder that affects the central nervous system and causes severe muscle spasms and stiffness. The announcement came through an emotional video message in which Celine explained that the condition was causing spasms that affected every aspect of her daily life, including her ability to walk and sing. Stiff person syndrome is an extremely rare condition affecting only about 1 in a million people. The disorder is characterized by fluctuating muscle rigidity in the trunk and limbs and a heightened sensitivity to stimuli such as noise, touch, and emotional distress, which can set off muscle spasms. For a performer like Celine, whose career involved constant travel, bright lights, loud music, and emotional performances, the condition presented seemingly insurmountable challenges. The diagnosis explained many of the symptoms that Celine had been experiencing for years, including the vocal issues that had initially seemed like separate problems. The muscle spasms associated with stiff person syndrome can affect any muscle in the body, including those involved in speech and singing, which explained why Seelan's voice had been so significantly affected by her condition. Following the diagnosis, Celine began working with a team of specialists to develop a treatment plan that could help manage her symptoms while allowing her to maintain as much normalcy in her life as possible. Treatment for stiff person syndrome typically involves a combination of medications designed to reduce muscle spasms and stiffness along with physical therapy and other supportive care measures. The emotional impact of receiving such a diagnosis was profound for Celine, who had built her entire identity around her ability to perform and connect with audiences through her voice. The uncertainty about whether she would ever be able to perform again was devastating, not only from a professional standpoint, but also from a personal one, as performing had always been her way of expressing herself and connecting with the world. Despite the challenges presented by her diagnosis, Celine approached her treatment with the same determination and professionalism that had characterized her entire career. She worked closely with her medical team to understand her condition and explore all possible treatment options, while also being transparent with her fans about the realities of her situation and the uncertainty about her future as a performer. Throughout her life, Celine Dion has faced profound personal losses that have tested her resilience and shaped her perspective on life, love, and the fragility of human existence. These losses, while deeply personal, have been shared with the public due to her celebrity status, allowing the world to witness her journey through grief and her remarkable strength in the face of overwhelming sorrow. The most devastating loss in Celine's life came with the death of her husband and longtime manager Renee Angel on January 14, 2016. Renee was not only Celine's husband and the father of her 3 children, but also the architect of her career and her closest confidant for over 3 decades. Their relationship had been the subject of much public fascination and occasional controversy, given their significant age difference and the fact that Renee had discovered Senna when she was just 12 years old. Though their romantic relationship didn't begin until she was an adult, Renee's death followed a long and courageous battle with throat cancer, a disease that he had been fighting intermittently for years. His diagnosis had originally come in the late 1990s, and while he had experienced periods of remission, the cancer had returned multiple times, each recurrence more aggressive than the last. Throughout Renee's illness, Celine had been his devoted caretaker while simultaneously maintaining her career and raising their 3 children, Renee Charles, born in 2001, and twins Nelson and Eddie, born in 2010. The final years of Renee's life were particularly challenging for the family as his condition deteriorated and required increasingly intensive care. Celine made the difficult decision to put her career on indefinite hold to care for her husband, demonstrating the depth of her commitment to their relationship and her family. She transformed their home into a medical facility, working with health care professionals to ensure that Renee received the best possible care while remaining surrounded by the love of his family. Renee's death at the age of 73 left Celine not only heartbroken, but also facing the daunting prospect of navigating both her personal life and her career without the partner who had been her guide and support for virtually her entire adult life. The loss was particularly profound because Renee had been so much more than a husband. He had been her mentor, her manager, her closest advisor, and the person who had believed in her talent from the very beginning. Just 2 days after Renee's death, tragedy struck the Dion family again with the passing of Celine's brother, Neill Dion, who died at the age of 59 after his own battle with cancer. Daniel had been diagnosed with brain, throat, and tongue cancers, and his death so soon after Renee's created an almost incomprehensible level of grief for Celine and her family. The timing of these 2 losses was particularly cruel, as Celine was forced to cope with the death of her husband while simultaneously grieving for her brother. Daniel's death was especially poignant because he had been one of Celine's closest siblings and had played an important role in her early career. As a member of the musical Dion family, Daniel had shared in Celine's journey from the very beginning, and his death represented not only a personal loss, but also the end of an important connection to her childhood and her family's musical legacy. The double tragedy of losing both Renee and Daniel within such a short time frame was devastating for Celine, who had always been deeply connected to her family and had built her life around the relationships that mattered most to her. The public nature of her grief meant that she was forced to mourn these losses while under intense media scrutiny, though the overwhelming response from fans and fellow artists provided some comfort during this impossibly difficult time. In the months and years following these deaths, Senna demonstrated remarkable strength and resilience as she worked to rebuild her life as a single mother while honoring the memory of the two men who had meant so much to her. She returned to performing, partly as a way of processing her grief, and partly because she knew it was what Renee would have wanted her to do. Her performances during this period were infused with a new depth of emotion as audiences could hear the pain and healing in her voice. The loss of Renee also meant that Celine had to learn to make career decisions on her own for the first time since she was 12 years old. This transition was particularly challenging because Renee had managed every aspect of her professional life, and his absence left a void that was both personal and professional. Celine had to develop new relationships with managers and advisors while learning to trust her own instincts about her career direction. Beyond the immediate family losses, Celine has also experienced the deaths of other family members over the years, including her father, Audemars, who passed away in 2003. Each of these losses has contributed to her understanding of life's fragility and the importance of cherishing the time we have with those we love. The cumulative impact of these losses has been evident in her music and performances, which have taken on an increasingly profound emotional depth. The way Celine has handled these personal tragedies has endeared her even more to her fans who have witnessed her vulnerability and strength in equal measure. Her openness about her grief and her journey through loss has made her more relatable and human to audiences around the world, showing that even someone with her extraordinary talent and success is not immune to life's most profound sorrows. Throughout all of these losses, Celine has maintained her commitment to her three sons, working to ensure that they grow up with a strong sense of who their father was and the legacy he left behind. She has spoken frequently about the challenge of being both mother and father to her children while dealing with her own grief, but she has approached this responsibility with the same dedication and love that characterized her relationship with Renee. Today, Celine Dion finds herself in a completely different chapter of her life than anyone could have anticipated just a few years ago. At 57 years old, she is navigating the complexities of living with stiff person syndrome while simultaneously working to maintain her role as a devoted mother to her three sons and exploring what her future might hold both personally and professionally. Her current situation represents a profound transformation from the nonstop touring and performing schedule that had defined her life for decades. Living with stiff person syndrome has fundamentally changed Celine's daily routine and lifestyle. The unpredictable nature of the muscle spasms associated with her condition means that she must carefully manage her activities and energy levels in ways that were never necessary before. Simple tasks that most people take for granted, such as walking, getting dressed, or even speaking for extended periods, can now present significant challenges depending on the severity of her symptoms on any given day. Despite these challenges, Celine has approached her condition with characteristic determination and has worked tirelessly with her medical team to find treatments and therapies that can help manage her symptoms. Her treatment regimen includes various medications designed to reduce muscle spasms and stiffness along with physical therapy and other supportive treatments. She has also explored alternative and complementary therapies in her quest to find relief and maintain as much functionality as possible. The uncertainty surrounding her ability to return to performing has been one of the most difficult aspects of her current situation. For someone who has defined herself through her ability to connect with audiences through her voice, the possibility that she may never be able to perform again is a profound loss that goes beyond the professional implications. However, Celine has demonstrated remarkable resilience in adapting to this new reality while holding on to hope for the future that in recent months. Celine has made selected public appearances that have given fans glimpses into her current condition and her ongoing battle with stiff person syndrome. These appearances have been carefully managed to accommodate her health needs, but they have also shown that she remains committed to maintaining connections with her fans and the broader public. Her courage in appearing publicly despite her condition has been widely praised, and has helped raise awareness about stiff person syndrome. One of the most significant recent developments in Seylin's life has been her decision to participate in a documentary about her experience with stiff person syndrome. This project represents a continuation of her lifelong openness with her fans, allowing them to understand what she is going through while also potentially helping others who may be dealing with similar health challenges. The documentary provides an intimate look at her daily struggles and triumphs as she works to adapt to life with her condition. As a mother, Seylin continues to prioritize her 3 sons above all else. Renee Charles, now in his early 20s, and the twins Nelson and Eddie, who are teenagers, remain the center of her world. She has spoken about how her condition has affected her ability to be the kind of active, energetic mother she once was, but she has also emphasized her determination to be present and supportive for her children in whatever ways she can manage. The boys have shown remarkable maturity and understanding as they have watched their mother face these health challenges. They have become more involved in caring for her and supporting her, reversing some of the traditional parent-child dynamics in ways that have been both touching and concerning for Seylin, who worries about placing too much responsibility on her young sons. Seylin's current living situation has been adapted to accommodate her health needs while maintaining as much normalcy as possible for her family. Her homes have been modified to make daily activities easier and safer with considerations for the mobility challenges and unpredictable symptoms associated with her condition. She has also assembled a team of healthcare professionals and support staff who help her manage her daily needs while preserving her privacy and dignity. Despite the limitations imposed by her condition, Seylin has not completely abandoned her musical activities. She continues to work on music in ways that are manageable given her health constraints, though the future of any public performances remains uncertain. She has expressed hope that she may eventually be able to return to some form of performing, even if it looks very different from the high-energy concerts and demanding schedules of her past. The support from her fans around the world has been a source of strength and motivation for Seylin during this challenging period. The outpouring of love and encouragement she has received since sharing her diagnosis has been overwhelming, and she has expressed deep gratitude for the understanding and patience her fans have shown as she navigates this difficult time. Seylin has also used her platform to advocate for greater awareness and research funding for stiff person syndrome and other rare diseases. Her celebrity status has brought unprecedented attention to this condition, which affects so few people that research and treatment options have been limited. Her advocacy work represents a new way for her to use her influence to make a positive impact on the world. Looking toward the future, Seylin remains realistic about the challenges she faces while maintaining an optimistic outlook about what may still be possible. She has spoken about learning to find joy and purpose in smaller, more intimate moments rather than the grand stages and massive audiences that once defined her life. This shift in perspective represents a profound evolution for someone whose entire adult life had been built around public performance and international travel. The legacy that Seylin continues to build extends far beyond her musical achievements. Her courage in facing her health challenges publicly, her dedication to her family during the most difficult circumstances, and her ongoing efforts to raise awareness about rare diseases have added new dimensions to her already remarkable story. She has shown that heroism can be found not only in extraordinary achievements, but also in the quiet determination to face each day with grace and dignity. Despite overwhelming challenges, today's Seylin Dion is a woman transformed by loss, illness, and the passage of time. Yet, she remains fundamentally the same person who captured the world's attention with her extraordinary voice decades ago. Her current focus on family, health, and finding new ways to connect with the world around her represents not an ending, but a new beginning, as she continues to inspire others through her resilience and her refusal to let circumstances define the boundaries of what is possible in her life.